George, Marquis of Stanmore, marrying Lady Catherine Lyon's maid. And only one television station has been thought appropriately important and dignified enough to cover it, KYTV, who will be bringing it to you in association with Mr. Oinky's Pork Sausages.
Yes, indeed, the wedding of the century. So let's get a flavour of what's going to happen today, and of course, of those delicious sausages.
And this is the start of the route which any minute now today's royal coach will be taking. And there it is, travelling out of the palace, on its way now to pick up the Duchess, down these famous old streets. And from there it'll be passing the wonderful old buildings of London, elegantly topped by their ancient cornices and KYTV satellite dishes.
So just a short mile from the palace, we'll take the coach to Westminster Abbey. Then it's past Westminster Abbey, down to the embankment, turn right at Chelsea Wharf, up to the Tollgate intersection, and then she's there on the Hammersmith flyover. The coach will proceed majestically past the Wrigley's Chewing Gum Factory and on to the M4. And off the M4 for roadworks at Junction 3, back on at Junction 4 before turning off at Junction 15 onto the A3405. Lights out at the crossroads with the B370, by the way, so do seek alternative routes.
So, a few minutes in hand, perhaps, before the coach gets to the church. So let's meet our man who is already down there, Mike Channell. Hello, Mike.
Yes, I'm out on the streets here where, despite a little drizzle that's just started, I'm surrounded by a tremendously good-natured crowd who are here looking forward to the arrival of the royal... Could you get the noise down a little bit? Who are here looking forward to the arrival of the royal couple. If I could just have a word with one or two of them. Madam, what are you looking forward to especially?
I think she looked lovely, a real fairy tale princess.
Yeah, that's for later, after the coach has passed.
Terribly sorry.
Super. And with that spontaneous cheer, I hand you back to Mike in the studio.
Beautifully natural. Well, as promised, we'll be showing you some superb pictures direct from the church of St. Littlebody's, the reception and the bride's bedroom, where our fly-on-the-wall unit has been waiting all night to record the first magical waking moments of the future Duchess. Well, a wonderful start to her special day, then. And a sneak preview of what the Duke may be seeing tonight. And those pictures will be going right round the world before coming back here to our studios. Little design fault in the system that we're trying to iron out.
The holy sanctity of the royal matrimony, only on KYTV, naturally.
Well, with us now to tell us a bit about the royal coach is General Sir Charles Milestone of the Royal Khaki Regiment and keeper of the Queen's khakis. This is the coach which will be taking the bride to the church today.
This isn't actually the real coach. The real coach is being used, unless this studio is part of the route, and I don't think it is. And if it was, then there'll be all hell to pay, because it would mean we'd set off without the bride inside. So I think, thankfully, we can be 90% certain that this is, in fact, a replica and not the coach itself.
This is good. Well, I'm glad that's cleared up.
What's that?
With the little matter of the coach.
Oh, right, I thought you might be referring to a little matter of syphilis.
No. Let's go in, shall we? Yes. Right.
Anyway, the coach, as you can see,
Yes.
the Duchess will be travelling in splendour
Yes,
and
absolutely.
comfort, unless, of course, there's any lightning around.
Yes. Lightning's a bit of a problem, is it?
Yes, well, unfortunately, the coach is a marvel of electrical attraction, so any lightning and toasting the bride might be a very literal possibility.
So you'll be hoping for sun today, then?
I will certainly be hoping for sun, but I doubt the Duchess will.
Why is that?
Well, because unfortunately, it gets unbearably hot in here in sunny weather. Something to do with the heating system, which unfortunately pumps warm air right up your trousers, and it's impossible to turn off. Based on the British rail system, I believe. But it is wonderfully comfortable and tremendous amount of leg room, provided you are able to remove your legs and store them in the luggage rack up there.
Thank you very much. Well, let's now go and let's stay here and go over to Mike Channel in the street. I'll come out your side.
Right.
Excuse me, I'm Mike...
Hello, Mike Channel from KYTV.
Yes, I'm Mike Channel from KYTV. Now, I gather that...
Yes, certainly, if you'd like to hear it.
Now, I gather that you composed a special song in honour of today's events, and I was wondering if we could possibly prevail upon you to give us a sneak preview.
Oh, yes, certainly, if you'd like to hear it. The market was stand on the minor. The lady lines made the wood none finer. He went down on one knee on KYTV and fell inside her. Yes, sir.
Mike.
Could have heard more of that. Well, with minutes to go, I'm delighted to be joined in the studio by the father of the bride, Colonel Oliver Lyons-Maid. Welcome.
Hello, thank you very much.
Colonel, my first question has to be, shouldn't you be in the coach with your daughter?
Oh, no, plenty of time yet. Not every day you get a chance to appear on television.
Yes, a magical day for you, as you say. Perhaps we can take this opportunity to look back at the events of last night, when, of course, that spectacular firework display to celebrate the marriage lit up the whole of London.
And now it's time for the Sergeant-at-Arms to launch the dramatic and impressive rocket display.
Stop!
A gift, I believe, from the President of the United States of America. And over there I can see the magnificent Catherine wheel. A gift symbolizing the historic friendship between Britain and the United States. And now the Chief of Her Majesty's Armed Services prepares to set off the frothy snake as he lights the blue touch paper and retires after 40 distinguished years in the service. And all because it said so on the instructions. That sort of discipline that's made him what he is today. Retired Major.
General, are you looking forward to the events of today?
Yes, I am very much looking forward
Well, I'm
to
sorry, I'm sure we could go on talking like this all night, but right now, I'm afraid we have to urgently go over to the newsroom.
Hello. And now let's take a commercial break.
Out now on KY Records, The Hymn Parade. The first ever compilation album of hymns you can boogie to. Great hymns for you to savor, or should it be Saviour? The Hymn Parade. Now that's what I call tacky.
In an age of automation, choosing the right microcomputer can mean the difference between success and failure. Only one microcomputer can guarantee the fully streamlined office systems that will take your business straight into the 21st century. Wong. Wong is the one you must choose. Why Wong? Because only Wong microcomputers go binky bonky binky. So if you know bog all about computers, choose the one that makes the best noise.
Wong. The only one with binky bonky binky.
General, I'm sorry to interrupt you. Are you looking forward to the wedding today?
Yes, I'm obviously looking forward to it,
Why?
because it's in the future.
General, stay with us. Because this is perhaps a good time to remind you for the first time about KYTV's beautiful book of the wedding, which we've just produced, telling the story of the fairy tale romance, and the one about the bishop and the cucumber, which you'll find on page 24. And the whole book has a foreword from the Duke of Edinburgh. Oh, no, I'm sorry, it has a four-letter word from the Duke of Edinburgh, which he kindly gave us when we asked him for a foreword. That's right, yes.
So what is there to know about today's KY couple? Well, the Stanmores are one of Britain's foremost aristocrats, and the present Marquis himself can trace his family with the aid of a pencil and a piece of toilet paper. The first Duke was the illegitimate son of Charles II's illegitimate son by a prostitute he had a quickie with round the back of the horse cart parade, which means he has one of the most distinguished royal antecedents of any aristocrat in Britain today. His name has been romantically linked with several glamorous film stars such as Brooke Shields, Fiona Fullerton, and Joan Collins, just as his father was linked to glamorous film stars of his day, such as Joan Crawford, Betty Davis, and Joan Collins. But the lady who was to capture the Marquis's heart was, of course, Lady Catherine, with her ever-present smile and distinctive, slightly pinched nose, both a legacy from her years of training as a synchronized swimmer.
One country where I'm sure there is considerable interest and excitement right now is Australia. And we can go over and talk live to our man in Sydney, Eric Baker. Hello, Eric. Hello, Eric.
Hello?
Ah, hello, Eric.
What time is it?
Eric, you must be very excited.
Hang on. It's 3 o'clock in the morning.
what are the people of Sydney doing right now?
They're sleeping. Do you know it's 3 o'clock in the bloody morning, mate?
I expect there are 1 or 2 street parties going on, are there?
Are there? I don't bloody know.
Well, perhaps you could tell us how things are looking there, Eric.
Dark.
Who is it?
I don't know.
Don't I know it's 3 o'clock in the morning?
Well, I'm telling them, you stupid bitch.
Don't call me a bitch.
Okay, time now
It's
to...
3 o'clock in the morning, you bastard.
Don't call me a bastard.
I'm not calling you a bastard, you stupid
Well,
bitch.
Eric enjoying himself there as always. Well, I'd like now to talk to the Colonel about some of the exciting scandals surrounding Lady Catherine's rebel years as a teenager. While you at home watch this slightly less exciting episode of our Brazilian soap opera, Olé.
And now, episode 4 of our Brazilian soap opera, Olé. The story so far. Bertrand has accused Dorothy of having an affair with Trevor. Dorothy and Trevor have confessed, but after only a brief time with Trevor, Dorothy has gone back to Bertrand. Meanwhile, Bertrand has started seeing Reginald, who has arrived home unexpectedly to find Dorothy back in Bertrand's bed. Now Dorothy, Bertrand and Reginald have decided to set up home together, but have been devastated by the news of Trevor's suicide, for which Dorothy blames herself. Furthermore, Dorothy has also discovered that she's pregnant. Well, that's all we have time for. Join us next week for episode 5.
Twice at the front and once up the back.
Yes, well, any moment now we'll be seeing that dress that everybody here has just been talking about, and that seems as good a moment as any to introduce our agony aunt, Anna Rabies.
Hi.
Who won't be discussing your personal problems today because I'm sure she wants to talk about that dress.
No, I don't. I want to talk about orgasms.
So let's turn to another topic for a moment. Colonel, it's going to be an arduous, emotional day for your daughter. How do you think they'll feel once they're finally alone together?
Well, if it's anything like my own unforgettable wedding night, he'll take her in his arms and, feeling slightly giddy from all the champagne, he'll throw up in her ear.
Yes, it's a romantic occasion, isn't it?
Which is why it'll be vitally important that the royal couple will be able to talk openly and freely about their sexual problems.
Yes, well, I don't actually know that there'll be any sexual problems.
Nonsense, everyone has sexual problems. The Colonel probably can't get it up, the General probably can't get it to go down again. I have a problem achieving at least 5 orgasms simultaneously, and you have a secret about masturbating. But it's perfectly all right.
I'm sorry, I do not have a secret about masturbating.
Well, not now that we've told all our viewers, no.
Yes, thank you very much, Colonel. I think your taxi is here to take to the church.
Oh, no, plenty of time yet.
Well, also here with us in the studio is Douglas Callow, the author of our book of the wedding, priced £35. That's the title, I believe. Douglas, perhaps I could ask you to tell us a little bit about how the young couple met.
Well, of course, they have met several times already at royal garden parties, with strives, that sort of thing. But I think the thing that's brought them together more than anything is their mutual love of leather.
I should just clarify that, of course, you're saying that they both have a love of horse riding.
Really, I didn't know that.
Right, well, let's see how things are going down there on the route. Mike?
Yes, I'm here with a group of well-wishers one or two of us who are not quite so well on account of being kept waiting out in the rain for hours for something to happen. Still. And that cheer suggests that the procession is approaching at last. Yes, I can see... yes, thank you, I'll have that. Thank you. I can see the royal coach with the Duchess looking out of the window. I don't know why they got me to do this. I've really got no interest in it whatsoever. Behind her is... who's that? The Royal Equerry. The Royal Equerry, apparently, whatever that is. And his coach is being pulled by two very large horses. It's so stupid, you know.
Could we talk a little about the couple's royal duties?
Well, a lot of people imagine that royalty spend their days trotting out their horses and walking their dogs.
Which is wrong.
Oh, yes. I mean, not every day is as hectic as that.
So, General, how do they spend their time?
Well, of course, they receive a great many requests to do charity work and things to benefit the local community, so a lot of their time is taken up turning all of those down.
Yes, and of course their duties don't stop in this country, do they? I mean, when they go abroad, they often act as our ambassadors.
Yes, although that's only because our actual ambassadors are usually too pissed to do it themselves.
I gather we can now go over to the church itself.
Yes, indeed, Mike. The Queen Mother has just reached the church, charming everybody with the informality of her arrival.
Lovely. Well, let's go over and join Anna Dapter, who has now gone out into the street.
Well, not actually out on the street, Mike, because it's actually rather wet out there. But I'm in the room where the royal wedding presents are on display, and what a magnificent sight they are. This table, for instance, contains some 75 Elizabeth David fondue sets. And this particular one is really rather special. It's apparently from the Prince and Princess of Wales, and is in fact exactly the same fondue set that the Marquis gave them on their wedding. Now, over here, we have something quite different. 75 pop-up toasters. But this is something rather special. It's carved in ivory with hand-carved Maasai warrior markings, and it is actually another pop-up toaster. And finally, over here is the splendid present to the couple from KYTV itself. And don't be fooled into thinking it's simply a toilet. It is, in fact, enamelled in gold. And as a pièce de résistance, plays Gloria Gaynor singing "I'm Looking Out for Number One" when you sit on it. It's a royal wedding.
Yes, and I believe we can now see the bridegroom's car arriving. His mother must be very proud to see him here today, particularly after last night's stag party, at the end of which he was apparently left handcuffed stark naked to the gates of Buckingham Palace with his private parts dyed day-glow orange. Something which will, of course, remind some of our older viewers of the wedding of Queen Victoria and Prince Albert, when Queen Victoria was, of course, found in a similar position. And as I watch people go into the nice, warm church, I'm delighted to say that I've been joined by Anna Dapter, who's here to take over from me. Isn't that right, Anna?
No, I'm one of the guests.
Oh, marvellous. Well, what a great honour for her. Still, I suppose things could be worse. At least you haven't been invited to join Anna and the Royals in the church, Mike?
No, that's right, Mike. Yes, I'll be joining them later at the reception, in fact.
Oh, good. Something else I haven't been invited to. Pearl Harbor.
Well, we've looked at some of the magnificent dresses here today, but what about the hats? Douglas. Douglas, the hats.
Yes. Well, there's marvellous hats here today. I can see one there with a very distinguished, simple brim. And, oh, there's another one behind that with a very similar brim. Similar colour as well, that's grey. And, oh, look at that one. That one at the back there is grey as well. In fact, they're all grey.
Yes, Douglas, these are all men's hats, aren't they?
Yes.
Well, not really much expertise called for, is there, seeing as how they're all exactly the same?
Well, if you want to know about women's hats, you'll have to ask somebody else.
If I want to know what your name is, I'll have to ask someone else the way you're going.
Still, no matter, because it's time now to go over and join the one man in Britain who's wetter than I am. That's only in the personality sense of the word, of course. Martin Brown.
Yes, indeed, Mike. Thank you very much. Well, with me now, I have the church warden of St. Littlebody's, Mr. Clifford Halliwell. Now, this is not a new church, is it? No. Is it 18th century, Clifford?
No, it's Norman, in fact.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is it 18th century, Norman?
No, the church is Norman.
Oh, I see. So, Clifford, how did you come to call the church Norman?
Thank you, Martin. Perhaps you'd like to talk the viewers through some of the celebrities that are arriving at the moment.
Celebrities, yes. Well, over there, holding hands with Prince Andrew is, I think it's the fat barmaid from the pub in East End. I can't remember the name.
This is the Duchess of York, Martin.
No, I think it's the Vic, actually, in Albert Square.
No, the person holding the hand of Prince Andrew is the Duchess of York, not some fat barmaid from a soap opera. Now you come to mention it. Anyway, behind her is the royal livery, as Princess Margaret is affectionately known. And there is the Queen, arriving a little late. Puncture on the M4, apparently. And with her is Prince Philip and the AA relay man who towed them.
With your daughter virtually at the altar, Colonel, still no worries?
Yes, well, maybe I'm a little bit on the... Excuse me.
Good. Oh, better late than never. And I put my money on never.
Except Mark Phillips.
Majesty, ladies and gentlemen, we are gathered together in the sight of God and the 2 million viewers of KYTV. Now, if the congregation will be seated, we'll be back after these messages.
If you are driving a long distance and begin to feel drowsy, pull over to the side of the road, get out and stretch your legs. Then continue driving with the window open. Don't. Drink a nice hot cup of Ovaltine, change into your pajamas, and prop a nice comfy pillow up against the window.
That was another patronizingly obvious public information film.
Welcome back. Now, I'll ask you to repeat after me.
And now the bishop is asking him to repeat after him.
I, George, Marquis of Stanmore.
I, George, Marquis of Stanmore, is asking him to say.
I, George,
Marquis of Stanmore.
By George, Marquis of Stanmore.
Do you mind?
So, General, the ceremony well underway. When do you think the royal couple will start thinking about children?
I think it's really a most inappropriate moment to talk about that.
Yes, I'm sorry, yes.
Yes, I shouldn't expect they'll start even thinking about that until they go round the back to sign the register.
I see.
Of course, when I say go round the back, I don't mean it in the old army sense.
No. Anna, any last-minute advice for the happy couple as they prepare to take their vows and pledge allegiance to each other forevermore?
Don't.
Don't? Super. Douglas. Douglas. Douglas, don't go away. But let's now return to the church for the musical recital which will follow the solemn conclusion of the vows.
I do.
They do.
And now, if the congregation will please rise. While the register is being signed, the Church of England, in association with KYTV, are proud to bring you Gums and Spittle.
Well, what a marvellous hymn that was. General, did you enjoy it?
No.
No, not surprising, really.
No, rather too derivative of Alice Cooper, in my opinion.
Right, well, let's now return to our excellent and unobtrusive coverage. And as they head outside, we can follow them and join our man-in-the-damp Mike Channel.
It may be winter outside, but in my heart, it's pissing down. Well, of course, there are many people in the photographic business who have been associated with the royal family over the years. Lord Lichfield, Lord Snowdon, Koo Stark. But the person who's going to be taking the royal portrait for us today is KYTV's very own photographer, Ken Nash, who's just lining them up for us at the moment.
Lovely. Come on, give me more, give me more, give me more. Could you stick your tits out a bit, Your Highness?
General.
Yes?
Wrap up.
I beg your pardon?
Oh, sorry, I was just reading my notes. General wrap up. Right. Well, that's almost all from us here. Thanks to the General.
I have killed a presenter on BBC's Look South before now, you know.
Thanks to Anna. Any last words, Anna?
Get a vasectomy.
Certainly. And thanks to Douglas. Thanks to Douglas, we don't have any more champagne left in the building. Thank you. And of course, the royal couple have an arduous year of royal duties ahead of them, with 3 official engagements. Opening a new Safeways in Orpington, bowling for a pig at the Harpston Village Fete in Oxfordshire, and most important of all, representing the royal family against the Wilmots from Epping on Noel Edmonds' Telly Addicts.
If you'd like a copy of the KYTV book of the royal wedding, simply send us £35 in a self-addressed envelope addressed to yourself, your house, your street, Yorkshire. In a few minutes, highlights of the crucial World Cup warm-up match between England and Tunisia will not be shown on KYTV tonight, as BBC One are showing it